Alright guys, welcome to Hopeless Chatter. I'm Gary, aka Hopeless, and in this video we will be looking at how I made the base for this Otter Ranger stood on a riverbank. The painting video for the Otter itself will be linked somewhere on the screen about now and at the end of the video. This is my first time trying to record and explain how I make my bases. If this is something you're into, let us know down below in the comments. And yeah, let's get on with it. So I have a big pile of IKEA heat mats. I think these are about £2–3 for a pack of 3. Quite useful for bases, I find. So I grabbed one of the offcuts from that, and I also have a Green Stuff World kit for round cutters for bases. Quite handy for cutting bases out of modelling putty. Using a Stanley knife or hobby knife, I just roughly cut round the same size as the plastic base that comes with the kit. Of course, if you watch the other video, you'll see that I'd already glued the Otter on top of it, so I had to break him off to get him in position. Using a bit of offcut cork, I tried to build up the edge where I wanted the Otter to stand next to the riverbank, and made sure there was enough space on there for him to be attached properly. And then I just super glued the ledge onto there. Looking good. Once the glue was dry, I broke out the airbrush. I will be wearing gloves in the future. I just didn't have any at this point. This is how new the airbrush kit is to me. For this, I used Green Stuff World's matte black surface primer, which I quite like. Not had any problems with the black paints. Can't say the same for the grey and the white in the Green Stuff World range, but that's for a different video. Once the black had dried, I went back to the Liquitex white and just went over to try and catch details, which seems to be my favourite way of painting at the moment. Also just gives me a reason to play about with the airbrush a bit, which isn't a bad thing. More practice, more experience. And once all that dried, I broke out the contrast paints and went with Gore Grunter, which is a really nice dark brown, and I think works quite well for sort of wet mud looking effects. Also, because of the way that the the cork is torn and broken at the edges, I think that sort of really helps with muddy embankments. Once all that was dry, I broke out the box of coarse rubble and slate rocks that I got from Geek Gaming, and sort of just applied them where I thought they'd look good in the river. And this is my first attempt at some sort of jump cut. Not too sure. And while that was all drying, I broke out the clump foliage from Serious Play, and just sort of worked out where I wanted it to go. I wanted to try and cover the metal plate that the Otter was stood on, because I could have taken it off before I started painting him, but didn't want to risk breaking him after I'd already spent a couple of days painting him up. So I figured he would be stood on a mossy embankment. So it's just simple super glue over the base, and then pressing the foliage down around the plate, which hides it, gets it all covered up, and I think comes out quite nicely. It's UV resin time. Now, I got this from Amazon. It was pretty cheap. Now, I didn't want the resin going all over my table, and I wanted to try and keep it sort of where I wanted the river's edge to be, but I couldn't find a mould to go around it. So I made my own out of a non-slip silicone sheet that I got for £1 at a pound shop. I think it works. UV torch to dry it all off. As I said, this was a cheaper brand found on Amazon, and it did take a little bit longer to dry out, so it was a little bit tacky for a couple of days, but I left that on my windowsill to dry out naturally. And I think combined with the Ranger itself, now personally I think this came out alright. What do you guys think? What would you have done differently? Is this something you would like to see more of on this channel? Because I do have ideas for other bases. and things to try and make. It's just getting a bit tricky with time at the moment. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, maybe subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So until then, I'll catch you later. Oh, actually, if you want to see how I painted the otter, I'm pretty sure a link will appear in a couple of seconds. So go and see that one. That'd be nice. Until the next video, guys, I'm Hopeless, aka Gary. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.